all good.
All right, good, good.
Right, we're all good.
All right.
The D's got a stripe in it again.
It's fine.
Right, okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Multi-Battle League Season 2. I'm that guy Harvey, and today I'm joined by the rest of our lovely analysts as we discuss the MBL Season 2 draft and do a little drawing for you. We're going to be drawing our YouTube and Twitter banner, which will be a chaotic experience. So let's just go through and introduce everybody. We're first joined by Toast.
Hey man, what's up?
We're joined by Wits.
What's going on, everybody?
We're joined by Jason.
Hey guys.
And Tailwind.
Wow, leave me to last, but hey guys.
Unfortunately, yeah. Good enough. Unfortunately, Juan couldn't be here today. He got dragged into a birthday party that he did not know was happening. So I will be drawing whatever he was planning to draw or something like that for him. I imagine, let's just get right into it. Let's rub all this out to start. What did you guys make of the draft, first and foremost?
I'm surprised about some of the mons. Like, there's a couple of teams that I don't want to sound horrible. Like you put them off the side. It's like, oh, they're kind of not as a joke, but like you don't have to take them seriously. But then you see their teams that, oh, I immediately regret my decision. Like, scary. And through watching other people's their draft analysis and seeing most of the consensus is blue Hunnitz, people are scared of them.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot watching a few people.
Yeah, the Deoxys and Tapu Lele strat is really scary when you look at it. It's like when they were drafted, no one really saw it until they explained it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for this banner, we're all going to be drawing what we call our mascots. Some of us have multiple mascots. So, like me, I have multiple, including a Ditto, which is why I'm drawing a Ditto. But then there's people like Tailwind, I think. What are you doing? Are you doing Comfey, right?
Yeah, I'm doing Comfey.
I have the pleasure of drawing 2 Ludicolos today. So get ready, get ready for that experience, everyone. That's going to be fun. And this is just going to be a fun time.
I don't even have a mascot. Did other people even start drawing? I'm just started.
Yeah, yeah, sure. We're just gonna be drawing whatever. We're gonna mash it. We're gonna mash it to a banner later on.
All right.
We'll edit it and it'll look fine. Let's just go right off the bat. Do you want to go start with each team going down the draft? If you want to talk
like what they have on their team.
We can go
what we think about.
We can start with Team Flawless in that case. Magirna, Hooper Unbound, Salamence, Mamoswine, Togekiss, Infernape, Serena, Galvantula, Tentacruel, and Parasect.
Well, obviously, first things first, Magirna obviously was going straight.
Yeah, that's the big elephant in the room. Magirna. I don't know who allowed it.
That's such a target.
But I don't like them. A lot of people don't like them.
They've got
it's probably the VGC players.
I don't agree with it.
No one agrees with
it. Is it that bad? Yes. I mean, I know it's strong, and I know that it's so hard is pretty busted, but I feel like, if you can get a Tectonic Rage or something in that slot, or
only downside it has is before it's set up, it is base 70. So they pretty much have 1 or 2 turns before it gets set up with shift gear to really take advantage to take it out. But other than that, that thing is just gonna eat up all of the soul hearts and just obliterate everything.
That's I mentioned how common protect is. If you just protect while something gets a kill, or you sack your own mon, that's a free special attack.
Well, they got follow me support. That's what I'm saying. Their team is scary just as the fact they got fake out. They got follow me. They've covered a lot of the bases move wise.
Yeah, and all of this and more is going to be talked about when Talon and I do our power rankings. We're going to be doing power rankings, and so we're going to have that set up. We're going to go through, at least for week 0, which is post draft. We're going to do a big draft analysis, give our rankings as to a grade point as to what everybody gets and why we think everybody should get what they get. So
I've forgotten what nose pass looks like.
It's a blue thing.
It's just a nose.
With red hands and a red nose.
It's going better. I'm going better than I expected.
I thought it was
I'm drawing on a trackpad now, so it's not fun.
I thought it was just a nose.
Oh,
what do you mean?
Hey, we're on the same boat. I'm also in a trackpad. I gotta get rid of
this
Ditto.
mouse.
Oh my god, that's awful. Oh, hey, you have a mouse.
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, yeah,
I'm actually decently satisfied, but I also I have a mouse.
I'm copying the witch strat and just curling on a block, and then just drawing a black line over it.
It's gonna get dicey though. These eyes are gonna look messed up. I can already tell.
Alright, I need white. Where's the white?
It's a legit strat. It's fine.
I like how we've already just dropped talking about the draft.
I know. It's so hard. It's hard to concentrate.
Yeah, we got to do both at the same time, man.
I seem to recall that
so,
Team Not School didn't even talk about their draft at all. They just drew.
I mean, with a picture.
They released like their own MBL. They did a separate video for the analysis straight away, basically.
Yeah.
That eye's way too big.
I think something to note with Team Flawless's team, they have a lot of support.
One of the main things that I saw.
They can stop priority with Serena.
Exactly, they have Serena that can stop priority towards itself. Really, it's not towards their side of the field, which, it's something. In stopping priority or with 1-1 is good. It's like in the same way as Proxish. They also have Togekiss. They have Galvantula to set up hazards, which is actually going to be really important. Hazards are important in this format. It isn't 4v4, it's 6v6. Exactly. If they're running like a shift game again with sticky webs, or even might even bring that. They could bring Trick Room because they have a lot of speed options on this team as well.
Do they have a Trick Room setter?
Magirna.
Yeah, awesome, Magirna.
Sorry, as you said, as a VGC player,
that's his TR setter.
Wow,
I haven't started yet because I have all my notes on my phone because I can't switch tabs, so I want to get a reference picture up. This is going to be a good time. So let me actually get a picture of Ludicolo up. I have to draw 2. Oh no. This is
all right, I'm almost at least done, and then I can focus on.
Yeah, because I'll have to switch my tab because I actually don't know the draft off by heart at the moment.
So why don't we move on to Team We Disney since we talked about them, or we talked about Team Flawless already. So We Disney, they have Tapu Koko, Landorus Eye, Tapu Bulu, Gyarados, Silvally, which can be every type, any type. Lantern, Tornadus Eye, Magmortar, Frostlass, and Hawlucha.
I do really like
obviously the first thing that stands out. Yeah, exactly. That's the first thing that stands out. They have dual Tapu. They have insane control when it comes to the Tapus. When it comes to terrain, the terrain war is very big when it comes to multiplay and doubles, especially in VGC. Jason, you can attest.
Yeah.
To that.
So, but one other thing I think that's interesting, that's different about the MBL than regular VGC is that when you're playing in a non-draft league, anyone can have whatever Tapu they want. In this, only now I guess 3 teams because Team We Disney does have 2. There's a lot less terrain unless it's manual. So in that sense, the terrain war is really big in VGC, but I'm actually kind of curious to see how big it'll be in the MBL. It's not like weather where there's a lot of different setters. But so it'll be interesting. It'll be nice for them to have that kind of difference. And part of me wonders whether they'll be using the utility of it more for electric terrain, keeping Pokemon awake, or trying to get the recovery out of Tapu Bulu than necessarily just the straight damage. Because I don't think that they have a lot of other similar type attackers other than Silvally to take advantage of.
Yeah, it's only Silvally, and Silvally is literally the only other mon besides the Tapus themselves that can fully take advantage of.
Right. Without, I guess
you have Lantern.
There might be
Lantern
I was going to say, what do you mean? They have a Lantern on their team.
So,
even in electric terrain, I don't know how much Lanterns do.
Yeah, but Lanterns are very good, just bulky kind of one. It just sits there. It just takes hits and takes hits.
But then with electric terrain, it could actually probably do a surprise.
With electric terrain up, it could do a good amount of damage as well, potentially.
If they aren't also Volt Absorb, then they're could be courting, some danger, asking for that too. I don't know which is standard. It probably depends on what, they're facing.
Yeah, it depends on that team. If they were to go with water or Volt, if there was a Volcanion, I don't know if that was drafted off by heart. But if there was, they'd probably go for Water Absorb over Volt.
There is Team Juice.
Oh yeah, Juice.
Picked up Volcanion this season.
Yeah. One of the other. Oh, go ahead.
So didn't they pick it up last season as well?
Yes, I'm pretty sure
that did so much work for them last season.
It did. It was crazy last year. It was one of the top 10 for the MVP. I'm fairly certain. I can't remember how many kills it picked up, but it was very powerful.
Yeah, so the Landorus side does get access to Sheer Force, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the other thing. The Landorus is Sheer Force. So that's going to be hitting like an absolute monster. Sheer Force,
or they could run Sand Force, especially against our next team that we're going to go over, Team Blue Hunnitz. Yeah. Team Blue Hunnitz, they have that Sand Core coming in with Hippowdon, Mega Steelix, so they could use that advantage as well to use their Sand against them.
Of course, yeah. And they also have the dual, as much as they have dual Tapu, they also have dual Genie and Tornadus. Right.
And I think Tornadus is going to be a great Pokemon for them. Like, the Prankster utility is like great. Like, obviously people tend to think more of Thundurus, but Tornadus is super good. Especially, I think actually Rain Dance could be fairly helpful for them. Could help them, let them run Thunder on Tapu Koko, could keep Bulu safe from fire types, boost Gyarados. They do also have Defiant. I don't know how. I feel like once upon a time in VGC, Defiant physical Tornadus was a thing. I think you gave it like Flying Gem, and it would. Right, exactly. That's exactly what you do. And so I don't think Flying Gem is an option as far as items goes. But you could also,
unfortunately.
But because they have the terrains, they could do seeds. So they could do something like Electric or Grass Seed. Tornadus,
they actually can't do that. They actually can't do that because it's flying.
Actually, they can.
No, it's still procs to seed.
Yeah, even if they're flying, it's still procs. It's just if the terrain's on the field.
Yep. They don't get like an attack boost, like a boost.
Yeah, they don't get
because that's like a big.
But they do get the
PC strat, like Drifloon Lele is.
Yeah, that's like the biggest one. That was like one of the biggest strats over the last.
That's news.
So, the one thing that I think they may struggle with is I feel like one is that they don't really have a lot to take advantage of Trick Room. I mean, I don't think like their only slow mons are what, Lantern and Magmortar?
Yes, I believe that is correct. They do have one of the fastest teams this season. If we go over to the average stats, they have an average base speed of where is it on this list? They are number 4 overall. They have an average base speed of 97.1, which is, I believe, the fastest team overall.
Well, and then on top of that, like when you have all that speed, I feel like a lot of their team is fairly frail. Not necessarily that they don't have the bulk, but there are some 4x super effective weaknesses. Like there's a lot of ice weakness on this team. And I feel like Lantern, Magmortar, and Frostlass are really their only Pokemon that they have that can kind of mitigate that. So I'm concerned that unless they make the right calls when they're attacking and targeting down the right thing, they could struggle with getting out-predicted and losing Pokemon fairly fast.
Yep.
I also see Lantern playing a big part in their team just because of the team that they did draft.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to be a very good partner for some Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's still going to be like possibly the hardest thing to build against though, because of the Silvallies and the nature of the Tapus. Like building against them for the other teams must be an absolute chore.
Yeah, having to predict which type and which terrain, if not both, that they'll be bringing.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Quite a problem for some teams, especially the likes of like DreamBall and I think Blue Hunnitz has the Tapu Lele.
Yes, Blue Hunnitz has a Lele on their team.
So for those, they have to worry about their terrains being lost, and if they think they can put their terrain back up, then they have to deal with 2 Tapus. It'd be quite interesting to see.
Yeah, and actually,
speaking of Lele,
go ahead. I was just going to say that Team DreamBall actually, their Finny is weak to both of the Tapus on Team Disney.
Speaking of the Lele, why don't we move on to Team Blue Hunnitz? I mean, we're kind of rolling along here with so they have Tapu Lele. I'm gonna whenever I read off the team, I read off how they drafted. Like they drafted it in order. So they have Tapu Lele, Rotom Heat, Hippowdon, Kyurem, the regular form, Togetic, Mega Steelix, Electivire, Mega Sharpedo, Deoxys, and Oranguru, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Oranguru. Although if he has GE, he'll say what, and it's Harambe.
Mm-hmm. It's not. We don't want to go into this right now, but
I mean, I don't disagree. I think it's better not to be Harambe.
Thank you.
I mean, Harambe's a gorilla. Orangaroo is orangutan.
All right, this isn't
Right.
the place to
This
have
is
this
not
conversation,
biology.
but I think it's interesting to talk about their draft strategy, that they didn't pick their apex at all, and right until the final 2 picks, which I really like. I really like they did that. So
they basically got some of the best low tiers.
Yeah, they even talked about it. They said that they didn't want to go straight for their top tier picks right away in case they were sniped. So instead, dropping down to their more valuable B and C tier picks. I think it was it Rotom Heat that went very early on.
Yeah, it was.
It was, yeah. When did it go? Round 2. Rotom Heat.
Yep.
So you can see their priorities elsewhere. They'd be able to come back and customize their A tier picks to how they want to play. It's a very valuable strategy.
It also allows them not to get sniped, because they don't really know what A pick they're going to go for until they get their lower tiers. So if they were to go with a strat that involved around A tier pick, but the rest of the low tier mons that was going to synergize well with it got sniped, they'd be in a bit of a pickle. So it was a really good, interesting strategy to go for.
I was super skeptical of it though until the end when they kind of brought it together. I thought that there were a lot of I was wondering they were missing so many opportunities, and I get that the Rotom Heat, I think dropping for that pick was good, but there were some when they dropped from B to C, that was when I was kind of are you guys sure this is what you want to be doing? The Kyurem, and maybe one of you guys could explain specifically that Pokemon better to me, because I know what Kyurem White and Kyurem Black could do, but I feel like Kyurem is not as good good, just period.
Kyurem is actually pretty interesting. If you look at Kyurem, especially next to its counterparts, it's not as strong. It's not as bulky. It is as bulky in some parts, except for Kyurem Black has a little bit more defense. Kyurem White is a little bit more special defense. However, all of the Kyurems have the same speed. Kyurem actually has more special attack than Kyurem Black and more physical attack than Kyurem White. So it can be more of a dual attacker, as opposed to the other two, which are mainly Kyurem Black. Kyurem Black, he has a lot of physical moves. However, Kyurem Black doesn't have a physical ice move, except outside of freeze shock. Now Kyurem having access to pulls is Kyurem White and Kyurem Black, but being able to utilize it better because it has across the board, as opposed to Kyurem White having 170 special attack, Kyurem Black having 170 attack. With Kyurem, it's actually harder to build for because of the fact that it has the same exact special attack as it does attack in base 130, which is still crazy. And plus its move pool is insane. Hell, you can somehow run a defensive Kyurem with dual screens. You can run an offensive Kyurem with Draco, Flash Cannon, and maybe get an ancient power booster. It can go either direction. Even physical, it gets Rock Slide. You can go along both sides. It has Iron Head for coverage. It has Dragon Claw for stab. So it can really go at either side when it comes to attacking for Kyurem.
Well, I guess that's useful. But I do think that they did bring it together. But let me see. I have some notes. I didn't get all the way through all the teams, but let's see what I.
Oh, this is Blue Hunnitz is the first team to draft Megas. Out of the teams that we're going over.
And the fact that they've got Mega Steelix
and Mega Sharpedo.
Yeah. And the fact that they've got Mega Steelix with Hippowdon with Orangaroo support. Imagine a Mega Steelix just being instructed. That's going to deal so much damage.
Not just instructed, but instructed in a trick room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be doing damage. And then if it doesn't survive, if they don't survive, are they going to live another attack from with an instruct?
Well, so here's the thing about that. So in my head, at least, to get that set up, they have to start with Hippowdon and then Orangaroo to get the sand up. And then their best option would be turn 1 Trick Room, bring in Steelix, and then Mega Evolve and attack, and then they can start their thing. But that's a very fairly predictable sequence of events. So if...
And not just that, Hippowdon and Mega Steelix will have to be on the same side. So if you put just a water move into that slot, it's going to be hard to pull off.
Well, and Z moves are a thing now. So, I mean, I know that it's fairly bulky on the physical side, but a special attack-based Z move could just completely obliterate it before it even gets a chance to do anything.
That's why you
and
want
a
a jet
Rangaroo
button
can-
to have powered on.
What?
A jet button have powered on.
Check button about
You could,
but that's viable.
You could do that.
but
You
you also don't
Lord of
have
Toast, the
longer-
master of tech.
You also don't have the longer sand turns for Steelix as well, because it'd have to.
You don't need that many turns. You're just going to be killing them.
I mean, with Instruct. But the other thing is that Rangaroo is also vulnerable to being doubled or taunted. Obviously, a lot of it depends on what kind of item. In VGC, you see, you really see a mix because Inner Focus prevents it from being flinched. But this may want to run Telepathy, so you can like Earthquake. So they could flinch to disrupt that turn one. They could taunt if it's not Mental Herb, and if it's not a berry, whether that's citrus or one of the pinch berries, you could just double into a Rangaroo, and then okay, sure, you get your sand up, but you don't get Trick Room, and then you lose that Instruct. So I think that while that's a very good strategy, if they can get it set up, I think it'll be a lot harder for them to set it up than a lot of people expect.
Problem with that though is they are because they're doubling into Oranguru, they are then taking a huge hit from whatever mon is next to Oranguru.
Well, but if Hippowdon switches out for Steelix, then it's free. They're not taking any hit.
I mean, there is also Whirlwind, which could prevent, some mons that could counter if they switch in a counter to it.
Yep. But I do think that they have a good team. I think that this is like one of the first teams that has a lot of synergy. I feel like Team Wii Disney and Flawless have a lot of good Pokemon, but it's just a lot of threats. When you get to Team Blue Hunnitz, you start to see things working together, like this combination we're talking about, like the Deoxys Tapu Lele combination. And I think that at least in VGC, like the doubles format, when you have teams that work together that way, they tend to do a lot better. And you can like almost ignore a lot of what your opponent's doing and just execute your strategy. And that is a good way to win.
I love how we've only been talking about the sand and we've neglected to talk about Tapu Lele plus Deoxys.
Right. Yes, that's important.
Deoxys and Psychic Terrain, that's getting a kill 99.9% of the time. Storm from the Powdown would knock the rest out with that 1% that's on the Focus Sash.
I can kind of see teams maybe thinking about running terrains against these kind of teams to maybe prevent this kind of damage at the risk of maybe losing a turn over it. Maybe.
Honestly, I would just run Scarf Pokemon, because if you just run something Scarf, I mean, I know Deoxys is fast, but certain things with Scarf can outrun it, and then you catch them off guard and they're like, okay, got Lele, got Deoxys, I'm just going to nuke you with a super powerful Psychic Z move. But if you hold that Z Crystal, you can't have the Focus Sash, and then you can just hit them first, possibly get a knockout. I know regular Deoxys isn't that bulky either. I know it's not like Deoxys speed or Deoxys attack level of frail, but it's still pretty frail, right?
Deoxys
it's
like 80 or something like that. And Deoxys, it's base 50 in defenses and HP. So
right.
I mean, Deoxys speed is base 90 in defenses, and then Deoxys defense that's just Deoxys defense. So, but like Deoxys attack is base 20, and its defense is like, it's not going to do much on the defensive side either way.
So I think like
ability mon with Trick Room and rocks and screens, but at that point it's just there to die. So
I don't know. I think that might be a viable strategy with Tapu Lele. Then you could like set up Calm Minds or something like that, and that might actually be a thing.
All right. Well, let's move on to drinking birds.
I'm going to open up the dock so I can see the teams.
Yeah. All right, let's
finished.
Yeah, let's move on to drinking birds. We've kind of been doing almost a decent sized analysis on every team anyway.
Yeah. Let's go straight on to This is obviously
Yeah, we have Landers.
We're getting. I was gonna say this is the team of Lee Provost and Hibiki, who delightfully informed me that it is Hibiki and not Hibiki. He told me this as soon as I said it wrong.
We're talking about Team Drinking Birds, not Team Leeki. Team Drinking Birds is Team Ann and Lorcy.
Yeah, he's just disrespecting.
Hey, you know what? Wow. You know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about Team Leeki. I don't care. I don't care. You what? I don't care. Let's talk about them now. Who's running the show here?
I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down. Formosa?
No.
I want ad revenue.
You know.
Welcome to the 5 people in a cult show, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do Leeki. Is that what we're doing?
Actually, you know what?
Alright,
Do drinking bird.
We're jumping to the bottom of the draft.
I don't know. I would like to. You know, I'm going to apologize right now for it. I'm sorry. I acted inappropriately, and we probably lost ad revenue. My bad.
We got that on video, right?
Hey,
we're good.
look, it's for comedic purposes. We might be all right.
Oh yeah.
So
anyway,
Team Drinking Birds. Team Drinking Birds. We have Landers Therian, Pheromosa, Mega Venusaur, Metagross, Ninetales regular form, Dormanitan, Linoon, Blastoise, Heliolisk, and Oricorio Sensu.
Yes.
Can I quickly just say this is possibly my favorite team, just because it looks like something I would run in VGC myself. I'm a massive fan of Mega Venusaur just as a mon, and it's just like there is so much threat. It's like almost like you see Team Flawless and there is a bunch of threats, but I feel like this is a better way. Their threats are stacked better because they got the synergy with obviously the Ninetales, with Darmanitan and the Solar Power Heliolisk, and then they've just got like, how are you going to prepare for stuff like Pheromosa and then Darmanitan, and then there's something's just going to die turn 1 most of the time.
Well, and
because they don't have the Mega first turn. They don't have the Mega first turn, so Venusaur can just get that growth with Chlorophyll boost, Mega into the Mega Venusaur to get the thick fat, and then all of a sudden you have a +2/+2 Mega Venusaur staring you in the face.
They can do that with Sleep Powder too. Like either way, they have a lot of options. They also have, even within that, I think we'll get to all of these, I'm sure, but they also have Oricorio for Tailwind support, and they could also do get up to Quiver Dance shenanigans with Pheromosa. Pheromosa does get Quiver Dance, so that is an option. And then the other thing that I think is super important is Blastoise and Linoon as a combo, because you can fake out or follow me, and then Linoon can belly drum. Now that it has Gluttony, it's going to be able to make way better use of these pinch berries, get its health back basically to full, and then just start destroying things with E-Speed. Or
exactly,
or whatever, or return if
Shadow Claw,
clarity.
Energy, like Seed Bomb. Its coverage is decent as well. Like,
Landorus T is also protected by Thick Fat from Venusaur. Not fully, but slightly protected from the Thick Fat, so there's a good switch in if they're on the same side and have already Mega evolved.
Metagross too. Metagross can come in handy there. Or Blastoise. Yeah, and Landorus T is like one of the best Pokemon in VGC. Intimidate is obviously huge in this kind of format with all the switching that you see. It's got having ground, like a ground type that you can switch in on another ground type attack is big.
With all the Intimidate users, I was surprised more Defiant Mons weren't drafted.
Yeah, no, Bisharp.
Well, this is where
so far, I think the only thing we have is Tornado.
Well, there's also Tornado, so that's Bisharp. Well, Defiant, not Bisharp.
Yeah, the Tornadus has Bisharp.
Yeah, but it's just they just have so many good Pokemon. I think the one thing that could trip them up is that they might be a little weather reliant. Like I hope that they come prepared to handle things like rain. Maybe not be such a problem because that could help out Blastoise unexpectedly, and Oricorio even if they ran Hurricane. But
Helios factors in every single weather, so except for hail.
Right.
Well, except for hail, yeah.
Right. So hail or sand, things could be a potential issue for them there. And they also kind of, I feel like they lack a fair amount of bulk outside of Blastoise and Mega Venusaur. Their team is pretty vulnerable.
Metagross can be quite bulky, and if they decided to run it, they could use Darmanitan Zen mode in the Trick Room. If they were to able to pull it off. It's risky, but it could work.
Get this man out of here. Do not suggest that.
I'll have you know that Zen mode Darmanitan is pretty decent if you can actually pull it off in a Trick Room.
It's awful.
That sounds like it requires so much setup to get off though. That would be the only problem with that.
The chances of it actually being pulled off are very slim, especially when two things can double into the Darmanitan if they're threatened by it, and just cancel it out straight away. And the serious drop in speed really hurts it as well.
I don't think they have a Trick Room setter, so I don't think they'll be able to even pull that off anyway.
Metagross.
Yeah,
Metagross can, yeah.
And they could use someone else's, like if Team Flawless were going to. Yeah, but they could use it against Team Flawless or something. I'm not saying they should do it. I'm just saying it's an option they have in team building.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Team Mythical.
Suggest it to him. You won't.
I will.
I want to see the screenshots when you do.
I'm trying to move everything along, but people just trying to.
Hey, look, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's go on.
Harvey. Harvey, we have time until we get to Leeki, so we have to.
Hey, again. I apologize. I was focusing on my drawing because everyone else seems to be finished.
Alright, so Team Mythical. We have Cresselia, Garchomp, Mega Medicham, Nidoking, Chandelure, Magnezone, Rabombi, Mega Glalie, Guzzlord, and Gourgeist. Now, Gourgeist, I think they have access to every form. Am I correct?
Yeah, they do. Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Now, right off the bat,
that thing is pretty interesting.
Yeah, right off the bat, they also have Guzzlord, and Guzzlord is a attribute you don't normally see drafted or even used anywhere. Which I'm really looking forward to see how they use it, but I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay.
Guzzlord gets Wide Guard. Not many people know this.
I know of its capabilities, but
now Tapu Koko can't really knock it out with Dazzling Gleam anymore.
Yeah, I like it, but I don't like it too much. I don't like it like other picks from C-tier, like Tangela and Broxish, and other stuff like that.
I feel it's really
it's not like it
easy to
synergizes
sleep
well
on
with
them.
the rest of the team.
Like, I feel like this is like a team that most people are asleep. But
yeah,
Joe is if not many people know, Joe is very scary with team building. He comes up with some of the memeiest strats. Like, I think it was 2014. He ran a Gourgeist Mega Tyranitar team, and he just put Forest Curse onto everything. And the only mons you can't hit super effectively is Pangoro and Scrafty.
Are you talking about Trick or Treat? You mean?
Yeah, that one. You add the Ghost type, yeah. So
you just sit there. Forest Curse is the one for Trevenant.
Yeah. So you just sit there, you Dragon Dance up, and then you just endlessly just crunch up. And I remember watching it, I was like, this is so janky, but I love it. And he's done a lot of tough stuff like that. So I feel like it's going to be very easy to disregard. It's their team looks like they have little to no synergy, stuff like this. But this, I have no doubts that they're going to pull something really weird out of the bag.
Oh no, I think they have a fair amount of synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not. I'm just meant at face value. People can think. So.
Yeah. I also do like the strat that Joe has in being able to change Cerebrate so people can't team vote against them. I like that strat.
Yeah. I'm sure that's his gonna do offline strats. But as far as this team, one of the things that I like most about it is their first two picks, Cresselia and Garchomp.
Yes.
Having Cresselia is a lot like Landorus, just one of the best Pokemon that there is in the doubles format.
It's a staple.
You have so many options. Yeah. I mean, you have, obviously Trick Room is the biggest thing, and they do have a lot of good options for Trick Room Slowmons like Nidoking, Magnezone, Guzzlord, Gourgeist. They just have a lot of good slow options.
It also has Icy Wind, so obviously even more speed control on the other side.
And it has Calm Mind. It's discussed, with Calm Mind, that Cresselia can 1v1 entire teams if they don't have something like Toxic. It can, I feel like I've seen some people on Battlespot doubles running it with Z Psychic. I'm not really sure why, but I know that's a thing. But they just have a lot of threat in that one Pokemon. And then meanwhile, you can have Garchomp sitting away, Earthquaking, because Cresselia has Levitate, and you kind of got to pick your poison, which one you want to get rid of.
Oh, yeah. It's also Garchomp's very useful. It's one of the better ground dragons, and being immune to electric type is very nice in this format, especially with the Tapu Koko who might want to spam Discharge. Won't be able to do that against the Garchomp, and we'll have to decide what it needs to do. So,
I think a lot of people are going to sleep on Mega Medicham. The Mega Boost is going to obliterate everything in its path. It's base 100 attack, but then it's pure powered. So pure powered base 100 attack, and then automatically at base speed of 100, being going out there with the fake out support. We're just getting insane fake out, bullet punches, drain punch, Zen headbutt, high jump kick. it also gets magic coat for for people who want to just put either status it or put up hazards of its own. It can set up. It'll just use magic coat, bounce everything back. Like it gets a lot of utility that people might not expect. And I think Mega Metacham might be one of the underdogs of this team.
Yeah, and they just have so much type coverage too.
That is true.
On
they
their
have
team.
a lot of it. I think their lower tier mons are very interesting ones, to say the least, as well.
Yeah.
Like picking up Rabombi, I don't think many people expected that too much. Even though I was told that they do have ideas for it, so
it gets speed swap, doesn't it?
It does,
Yeah, and the pollen
it does,
puff.
yes. Yeah, pollen puff as well is going to be a very useful move for them. And for those that don't know what it is, it's a 90 base power special bug move. Bug getting all the love this generation. Everyone loves Bug, apparently, at Nintendo. And Game Freak. And yeah, it will heal your teammate for 50%, I believe. 50%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 50% if you hit your teammate with it. That's going to be invaluable if they could use that well.
They can use that to keep Kretz healthy while it sets up. Oof, that would be scary.
All right, so I think we're good with Mythical. Let's move on to DreamBall.
Our defending champions returning from season 1, and they a very contrasted style of draft for this season. Yeah, fat.
All right, well, let's go over what they have. They got Heatran, Zapdos, Zygarde 50% form, Scrafty, Bronzong, Driftblim, Tangela, Mega Audino, Mega Absol, and then in their last round they picked up the S tier and Tapu Fini.
We all kind of saw it was coming. We all knew it.
Biggest pick of the entire draft.
Yeah.
I think after
it took me a while to get
besides Bagheera, but
yeah. After like round 4 or 5, everyone was like, "Yeah, they're getting this."
Their team is dirty though. I think at least like
it is.
Wolf, Heatran, another staple of VGC and Pokemon that Wolf is super familiar with. And then like the Zapdos. So I've been messing around on Battle Spot doubles, and at the advice of a lot of people, Zapdos with Misty Seed next to Tapu Fini, those two are just they're a monster. They're so hard to stop. Zapdos becomes so bulky. If you have Roost and then like Thunderbolt, the coverage move, or even something like Tailwind, it can win entire games by itself. They also have the ability to run Misty Seed Driftblim if they want for another like almost impossible to stop Tailwind. And then they have Bronzong as a perfect Trick Room setter, a classic VGC 16 Pokemon, and their team is scary, and especially when you factor in who's piloting it.
Absolutely.
Mega Audino can set that up too with the Trick Room, and then they have Mega Absol to bounce back hazards. They have Scrafty as a great defensive mon to come in and then just intimidate things, eat hits, and then dish out a lot of moves as well. So
yeah,
as Toast's favorite Pokemon, Wiggly Woo, which is the Tangela, that thing can do some huge shenanigans with its Rage Powder, its ability just to sit there and take hits for days and put things to sleep. In the previous season of MBL, I helped Kanga, and he just overlooked Tangela, and I just completely destroyed him by making him not be able to kill Tangela. So Tangela may get slept on, but it is not something you can just ignore lightly.
Well, I forgot who it was. Last year, someone got a bit. It was either last year or 2015. Got success with it in VGC, I believe.
Yeah, Tangela's a great
An
Pokemon.
American player. I can't remember.
Well, I want to say, so I remember there were some VGC players talking about it. It was Dwee Ha, who's one of the commentators. Yeah, he used to run Aurorus and Tangela, and Dwee is what he's a commentator now, but he's still a really good player. So Tangela they'll be able to do some pretty tricky things with that Pokemon, I'm sure. And they have some history to draw
Quite a nice C-tier pick as well.
Yeah.
But obviously,
right,
we have forgotten one Mon that has gone overlooked in Generation 6, which is Zygarde. And recently in Generation 7, as you know, 1,000 Arrows and 1,000 Waves has been gifted to it. And now it can trap things and hit everything with 1,000 Arrows, no switch-ins, which is very useful, especially with its bulk and access to Coil and Dragon Dance. So I'm really
And
looking
Wolf-
forward to see Zygarde get his time to shine.
Wolf loves trapping Pokemon too. I don't think does he have any Parasong users on the team?
I
do not
maybe
see
Drifblim,
any.
maybe. Wait,
No.
Absol. I'm pretty sure Absol gets it.
Okay, there's almost a certainty.
Oh, no.
I would not be surprised for Zygarde to trap things and then Parasong, because Wolf
Of
absolutely
course.
he's
He
like
loves them.
super well known for his Paras trap teams.
Yeah.
And didn't they do
Absol
Paras
does
trap
in fact
last year
get
with
it.
their Mega Gengar?
Yes.
They did, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and Politoed. So like people should not sleep on that as an option for them.
Of course.
And the fact that their Perish Trapper bounces back moves like Taunt, there is no real way of stopping it without killing it.
Yeah, I have to. They're
Scary stuff.
super scary and very much a lot of synergy in their team that I really like. Especially with Tapu Fini. I love Tapu Fini a lot. It's a great. It pairs well with nearly everything on that team, which
Yeah.
is
It really does. Yeah.
which is really nice for them. Although they might
And Marcus-
rely on it a bit much, maybe.
Yeah,
At the same
probably.
I
time,
did hear
considering
I
who's
did hear that
piloting the
Wolf
team,
isn't a huge fan of Tapu Fini. So
I
that
know
may,
he's not a huge fan of it.
Yeah,
Marcus
that may
seems,
just put it back.
Marcus has used Tapu Fini a lot this year and to great success. I know he was on his Leipzig winning team. I know he brought it to Melbourne, Australia for that internationals. So Marcus, that may be one that you see Marcus on his side playing with a lot, and Wolf playing with some of the other Pokemon. But no, they at least half the team knows how to use Tapu Fini very well.
Absolutely. I think we're gonna move on to the next team.
Yeah.
which
So
is-
with that, we're halfway done with the teams
yes,
that we
we're
supposed to be
halfway through
talking
already.
about.
This is a miracle. This is
We're only
great.
halfway through.
We're halfway.
And
This
how
is
long are
fine.
we at?
It's
And
fine.
How long are we at?
I got no idea, but we're just gonna keep
God.
powering on through. We are on to Team CyberBaz, who have
Yes.
Jirachi, Volcarona, Azumarill, Mega Aerodactyl, Raichu, Breloom, Nidoqueen, Bruxish, Regigigas, and Purloin.
Disgusting.
Yes,
Disgusting.
essentially
It's very
half.
similar to their season 1 team.
Yes, it's basically
Very
half
nice.
the team they had last year, and then just a few other things.
It seems a bit more refined though.
It
know what I
really
mean?
does.
I'd say
Was
that
Lycanroc
sounds-
Days drafted?
No.
What?
No, it was not. No. Okay. I was going to
So I
say
like-
the Volcarona's going to have to watch out for that Cell Rock, but not anymore. It doesn't.
Yeah,
No, you're
but
fine.
so I think like they realized last year that they didn't need Mega Lucario as much, so they traded up to Mega Aerodactyl, which did do a whole lot for them.
Yeah.
And then they've got the Azumarill, the Volcarona, the Raichu. Like just on those 4 Pokemon are super scary. We saw them win plenty of games last year.
And not just that, they have Jirachi, which is undoubtedly one of the best support mons. Like Jirachi Azumarill was running train in the doubles OU on Showdown. It was just running train because of how good Jirachi is as a follow me support user, as letting Azu set up a belly drum and sweeping teams. Like that core alone is the reason why Jirachi got banned in doubles.
I was about to say
OU.
the main word being was because it's now banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that they actually got that core is
Yeah.
Very, very intimidating. Indeed.
I'm looking
Right.
forward
Well-
to seeing Regigigas put in some work. I'm hoping that they get to pull off some interesting strats with it, but I don't know how many skill swap or. I mean, I guess they've got
Yeah.
Worry Seed with Breloom.
Someone ran it
But-
last
That's
year.
what I was gonna say. Like,
It was because
how are they
they
going
got
to
a lot
get rid of
successful.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it, and Bruxish as well, because I've
Well,
always
yeah.
liked Bruxish, but I've never really seen
You
it
get
work.
stuff like Icy Wind as well, though. So like,
Yeah, and
even-
Wide Guard.
Yeah, so like, while you're waiting for it to get out of slow start, purely support mon.
Yeah,
there's
unfortunately,
nothing
there
with
is no
Anger
healing.
Point on their team, right?
No.
Okay, because I know Bruxish, Frost Breath, I think it's like Tauros or something, but there's like Anger Point shenanigans with Bruxish and VGC, in like super niche. But the other thing I think is dangerous, that they, not that anyone let it happen, but they gave like Baz has Purloin, which isn't Lipard, but basically
But it's
the
close
same
enough.
thing. Yeah, it's close enough, and he is a devil with Lipard, or in this case, I'm sure he'll be just as bad with Purloin. What?
That is literally what Baz is like famous for. Like that's half
Yes,
the reason why
exactly.
people know is with his with massive tournaments.
Yeah.
And Lipar Breloom too, so he's got both of those pieces.
Except for a downgraded version of Lipar, but still pretty good.
Right. Exactly.
You can still achieve a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, because I think it's like one of the ones that gets all of his good moves from pre-evolution, but gets his good stats in evolution. Like with Pikachu. Raichu gets like 4 moves when it evolves, but Pikachu has all the moves they would use. So, yeah.
The thing with their team, though, is that it is kind of, because it's so similar to last year, there's not as much of a surprise element, which maybe they don't need it because their team is really strong. But I think that people could have an easier time preparing for what they're going to face. Though Baz and Aaron are great team builders, so there's a good chance they could toy with people's expectations, like, oh, you think we're going to run or belly drum Azumarill stuff? Think again, and then they do something completely different that messes things up.
Yeah, I was gonna say in before Sap Super Special Azu.
Oh god.
I mean, Azu was special before Huge Power came in because it does have 10 days more. But yeah.
I think I'm on that a lot of people aren't going to take as seriously on their team. I don't think they're going to take... A lot of people won't take Broxish very seriously. They'll see it there.
I'm looking forward to see Broxish.
I look forward to seeing Broxish a lot. I love Broxish as a mon.
As long as it's shiny. It has to be shiny.
Their Nidoqueen is actually not bad either. It's not as strong as Nidoking, but it does have more bulk.
Yeah.
So that is certainly... And having a poison type in a format where fairies are a thing and scary... and it's a ground, so it can cover steel type switches. Like it's actually a pretty good pick. If you can't get Nidoking, which is a great Pokemon, Nidoqueen is far from much of a downgrade.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, let's move on to team subs. That's Callum and Luke. They have Mega Lucario, Clefable, Mew, Hitmontop, Crobat. Well, Callum's favorite fat bat. You got Raikou, Druddigon, Shiftry, Seismitoad, and Typhlosion.
I really like this team. I like it a lot. It's got a lot of good synergy. It's got a lot of good double mons. Has the Mew, obviously, with Munium C, a fantastic mon, and the monster that's Mega Lucario. So I really enjoy looking at this team and look forward to seeing it work.
How close was Mega Lucario to being banned again?
It was 1 vote away from being banned, and I can tell you that it was Shofu who had the deciding vote. So you know what's going to be fun? You know what would be great to see week 1? Mega Lucario running through Team Louis Disney. It will be entirely Shofu's fault. Yes, he allowed it to be in the
I'm gonna stay unbiased in this, but that sure would be irony, huh?
Yeah, I'm not
being biased,
Shofu watching this,
but I want to see it. I kind of want to see it. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but I wouldn't be sorry if it did. That's what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel bad for them.
Luke, you know what to do.
Yeah. One of my favorite things on this team, though, is Hitmontop, personally.
Fantastic, mon.
We saw that was something that team subs, if I recall from the draft, kind of sniped from Team DreamBall, because obviously Wolf and Marcus both brought Hitmontop to the World Championships. Wolf winning, Marcus taking 3rd place. And Hitmontop was such a huge part of that. The Intimidate support is big, Fake Out support, Feint, close combat is an option. Did I say wide guard? I don't know. But there's a lot of options. And then the eject button, I don't know if that's something that Callum and Luke are going to have as much utility with, because I feel like that was kind of specific to that team. But it does give them some interesting options. Yeah, they could find ways to make use of it, like maybe Seismitoad. Like if they know a water attack is coming, they could switch in Seismitoad. But that's pretty one-time niche use. But
yeah, it would be the same thing with a fire move into Typhlosion.
Right. Yeah. Right. So there is utility, it's an option. But I think just Hitmontop is a very useful Pokemon overall, and it's fairly bulky. And I think they'll really enjoy having that on their team. They have a lot of bulk, actually.
Yeah, they did snipe They sniped Team Wii Disney with that pick as well. Nugget was talking about it a lot, that they sniped Hitmontop from them, only because Salamence got sniped from them.
Yes.
Right. But Clefable also very scary. There's a lot of options for that. Obviously, you have the Follow Me support.
Offensive as well.
Exactly. It can. What is it?
Offensive is an option, obviously.
Is it Calm Mind?
Yeah, Cosmic Power.
Well, I mean, it gets both Calm Mind and Cosmic Power, and of course you have that Heat, Cosmic Power, Charge Beam, Stored Power set that can possibly be run, but like
yes, right.
But besides that,
it also gets access to World Cup again now, much more easier because it learns by TM.
With Life Orb Magic Guard to be offensive, where you can just run Unaware to block any kind of setup from the opposing mons, and like.
Yep.
It's a very, very, very good mon to have on any team, whether it be singles, VGC, or multi in this case.
So, Toast, you're a seasoned VGC player. Have you got any thoughts on it? Well, not seasoned, but you're pretty good.
I've just totally zoned out.
we're on team subs. The team with the Hitmontop, the Mew, the Crobat, the Shiftry, you know, all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, see, Crobat last year, fantastic. Fang, Haze. What is Wyguard it gets? Is it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it gets Quick Guard.
No, it's Quick Guard.
Quick Guard, that's it. I knew he got one of the guards. Obviously, Hitmontop getting both the guards, Intimidate, all that good shenanigans. Clefable can go die. I have PTSD from that month. Except for that, my curse.
It's all right. We've all got one. We've all got one.
One last thing, though, I think I want to say is that I know Mew is obviously super threatening. We talked a lot about the Z move being scary, but it also does obviously can learn so many, you know, was like every TM and all kinds of different attacks. But Transform Mew, from what I've heard from some doubles OU players, is certainly very scary as well. Being able to transform into the most threatening thing on the opponent's team, potentially multiple threatening things, depending on if you switch it, or your own team, right? Exactly. I mean, they could have two Mega Lucario.
Yeah.
And Z Transform restores all your HP when you transform.
Oh, God. Yeah. Ooh. So I think Mew is also a really scary Pokemon to be facing, regardless of whether they run the Z attack on it.
Yeah, let's move on to the team not Scald. This team, before I go over it, it seemed to be this was the team of counter picks. I feel like this was the team of counter picks. They saw everybody else's draft and then picked based off everybody else's draft. Because they have
this team is just looking at it. If anyone looks at the team, it's just fat. You want to talk about a fat team from DreamBall? This is a fat team, and they're both against each other week one. All right, now you can go.
All right, so we got Celesteela, Arcanine, Mega Garchomp, Buzzwole, Suicune, Alolan Raichu, Cradily, Malamar, Licky, and then Tailwind's baby in Comfey.
Yeah.
So fat, except for Alolan Raichu, just fat.
Go on, just go talk about it now. You have your chance.
Well, Toast hates Comfey. He always says to me that it's really bad, but I've used Comfey in doubles when Sun and Moon first came out in Showdown, and I went undefeated with a team with obviously had Lunala and Magearna. But being able to heal your team at +3 priority for 50% or 75% in the grassy terrain is really good. You also get access to After You, which is basically turning any of their slow mons into base 100 speed. They also get access to Trick Room as a Trick Room setter, as their team is pretty slow in some places. And obviously, you know, they get Z Celebrate if they really wanted to go offensive. I don't know if they'd want to, but if they wanted to, they do have Z Celebrate.
Now, to put down the agenda, though, the problem with this is if I was on the opposite team and I saw if it was like a more supportive set, I'm not going to attack it.
You'd ignore it. Exactly.
One of the most powerful strategies in the take someone else out of the game. Just take out their free
mons. You sometimes cannot do that. And I have.
I know sometimes you can't, but what I'm saying is like.
And Comfey being able to heal 50% every single time. If you do like a little bit of damage, but if they get healed 50% each time.
But it's a bit different when you have two monsters targeting it down each time.
But it's still got base 90 special attacks, so the Dazzling Gleams they can throw off can do a little bit of damage.
That's the main word, a little.
It's still chip damage. That could save them. I really like Comfey. It's
certainly a good pick, and it'll have utility. I don't know if it'll be game changing, but they do have a lot of bulky Pokemon to take advantage of. I think where Comfey might come in best is near the end of a game where they've taken out a lot of threats, and they have one really threatening Pokemon and then Comfey next to it, and especially if Celesteela or Raichu get how does Joey like to say, get a nice beach boost, and you can just boost, you can just keep healing it. And especially if Celesteela gets defense or special defensive boost, it'll be really hard to do more damage then you can deal to it, or you can deal more damage than it's healing with Comfy. So I don't think that's an early game mon. I think it's a late game mon, but I think it's
late game. Yeah. Also, Comfy does get access to the grassy terrain, so it can put it up itself and upgrade itself from 50% to 75%.
The other mons on their team, they have a lot of scary Pokemon. Celesteela #1, I think, was really threatening early in VGC. People kind of figured out how to handle it now. But two of the biggest ways to do that are fire attacks and electric type attacks. And they have Arcanine and Suicune both as possible switches for that issue. Yeah. And they have Mega Garchomp to handle electric type, actually, and fire type too. So they actually do have a nice little core there to protect Celesteela. I don't know how much that Joey and Envy are going to want to sit there and just lead seed things away. I don't know how much. I don't know if I feel like, well, Joey kind of just does what he needs to win. From what I've seen.
Envy is very against stall. He said that personally. He's like, how do I deal with Team DreamBall? I went stall. You bring stall to stall. Yeah. He's like, I don't like relying on stall. It's just like, well, you got to do what you got to do for the W. But
oh, go ahead.
So Joey does keep in contact with a lot of the New York. Yeah, he was very active in the VGC for a while with Aaron for quite some time. I remember him being quite active in his local scene.
Yeah, he would come to a lot. He was at some PCs and things like that over at Liberty Gardens. And then another thing, actually, I know Suicune Crocune is a thing in singles, right? But I don't know how. I don't think it was ever. I don't know if Calm Mind Suicune was ever really a thing in doubles, but it's still isn't a good option.
It's mostly Scald, Icy Wind, Tailwind, Protect. Yeah. That's what I use a lot in 15. Suicune is what because 15 is what made me love bulky waters. I use Milotic and Suicune on near enough all of my teams. So Suicune I love just for the bulk that it has. But yeah, Crocune can easily come out. Just Rest, Sleep Talk, Calm Mind, Scald. I can easily see that coming at one point.
Yeah. They also
Singles,
have
especially
Credilli, which can pressure some. They have Credilli, which can pressure some teams from not using their water types if they see it a team preview, which is something they could utilize. But anyway, it's back to you.
And going back to Suicune, I've seen this a lot of times when it comes to draft stuff, but I've seen it use Z Aqua Ring, and that gives it a +1 defense boost as well as slowly it increases its health. It gives it a built-in leftover. So use Z Aqua Ring, Calm Mind, Scald, and then Rest. Instead of Sleep Talk, and it would just keep bolstering its defenses up as opposed to sleep talking things away. But even still, it would get its health back, and it still wouldn't die because of the defense boost with being bold 252, and it would just eat hits for days, rest everything off, and then just sweep teams.
Pretty scary. And I don't really see a lot of other things on their team that are going to want Z moves. Raichu Alolan might want a Stoke Spark Surfer, and Arcanine may want right, and that's great too. And they might want All-Out Pummeling from Buzzwole or Inferno Overdrive from Arcanine. But otherwise, I don't really think that could be an option because Garchomp, which normally holds the Ground MZ, can't because this is Mega Garchomp. Celesteela's not really going to use it. I don't think either lower picks do either. So actually, that is something you could see.
I just mind if I say something about Drinking Birds for a second. I completely forgot to talk about this when we were talking about Drinking Birds.
Sure.
But, so Heliolisk gets this move called Electrify.
I don't understand about that.
What I'm saying about this is Z moves can be electrified.
Yes, that is the thing.
Heliolisk is faster than the Mon using a Z move. It could just electrify a Landorus Tectonic Rage to then take out a Suicune.
That is entirely an option, and I would like to see that be used. I would like them to potentially bring that as an option.
I feel like you're going to get a DM for T-Man just saying, can you please not reveal the text?
or even better, electrify Water Spout Blastoise in the rain.
Fun. Anyway, we should probably...
Hold on. Before we move on, I want to point out the Leeki being a thing.
Oh, yeah.
That is going to be massive against the weather teams. Only with the Cloud9 ability, it's going to be huge for them, especially against, again, weather teams like Team Blue Hunnitz with their sand, and oh god,
Drinking Birds.
Drinking
It's
Birds
also
is some
another way
team.
to heal.
Yeah, and it's just a bulky mon that just takes hits, and can potentially blow up in people's faces, which is always fun.
Yeah,
It blows up.
It's a fun mon to use, and shout out quickly to
doesn't-
Kabutero, he loves it.
Doesn't it also get heal bell?
I don't actually know. Does it get healed?
I
I
don't know.
believe so. Hold on. I believe it does.
Well-
I know it gets wish.
Yeah, I guess
Ooh.
Wish.
It gets heal bell and wish. It's a full cleric.
A mon on their team that we've overlooked is Malamar. Malamar is kind of just there, but I love Malamar so much. It hits hard. It just hits very hard. That's the best we can talk about it. It's very good at hitting everything in its path. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
it's
a little
4 times
one-dimensional,
weak to
but exactly.
it is, but
yeah.
it's something that's good at its job. Like it has a role,
Yes.
and it can fill that role very easily.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And now we can move on to our next team.
Yeah, 'cause we're running out of time, now, I think.
Yes.
No, we have infinite time. What are you on about?
Oh,
we
you
move
got
on.
a point.
It's
But we
fine.
finished the drawing aspect, so that's kind of
mostly. I'm just doing the main logo. We move on to Team Juice, so we're getting right towards the tail end of the draft now, with Aegislash, Volcanion, Kieran Black, Crocodile, Tornadus T, Meloetta, Hooper, Aromatisse, Chestnut, and Vivillon. So, instant thoughts about
right off
that
the bat.
being Aegislash as a very good S pick. Volcanion
Yep, along-
is a fantastic A pick, and they have just very good picks overall. I
Yeah,
like
they
this
also
team.
rounded out their A pick with Kieran Black, so they've got
Yeah.
3 fully scary offensive or defensive mons right off the bat.
What I love
Canyon,
is
Aegislash, and Kieran Black.
they got like 3 months that obviously a lot of VGC players aren't used to seeing. So obviously, Chimp is a fantastic singles player, and he's really good. Actually, he's won a couple of doubles like tournaments and like VGC stuff. And Kenny, like people can sleep on him, but I know he's decent at singles. Like he's good.
He's also
Right.
very good at doubles because he was the one who made a lot of the predictions in season 1,
Yeah.
but was overlooked by Chimp.
Yeah, exactly. So they've already got the team synergy down. Yeah, the stuff with Kieran Black we didn't see at all last year, so obviously a lot of people can sleep on that. Volcanion, like I don't know what it does. Well, I know what it does now after season 1, but like
Right.
I don't know what it does. Like, as a VGC, I just don't see it. And same with Meloetta. Don't ever see these mons. If I saw it in a double scenario, it's like, well, what does it do?
I can literally hear
Voice and kicks your
Wolf,
ass.
Just what
I
is
can
a
literally
mythical?
hear Wolf going like, "What? Oh my God, Meloetta! What does that do to Marcus?" And then just
Yeah,
leave it then.
what is a mythical Pokemon? We don't know of these things.
Exactly.
Poor
Forbidden.
Team for not getting one.
Tragic. But I think that speaking of their 3 first picks, I think that they did a really good job with those in another way too. Aegislash and Volcanion both ground weak, but it was nice of them to get Kieran Black, an ice type that can cover that weakness, at least offensively. You have to hit first, you got to get that ice beam off or that blizzard or some powerful ice type attack.
Or the Z free shock.
Yes, or the Z freeze shock. If they can get rid of the threats to Volcanion and Aegislash, honestly, those 2 mons are strong enough and bulky enough and survivable that they honestly could win games with just those.
They have multiple mons that can utilize Z Snatch, which what Z Snatch does, it actually gives you +2 in speed.
Mm-hmm.
So Z and we saw them use Snatch last season.
Yeah, it was
on-
against Team Wii Disney.
They weren't a team at the time. I don't know how they did it against Team Wii Disney, but like
No, not Wii
yeah.
Disney. Not Wii Disney.
Team Views.
Team
Team
Views.
Views.
But,
Didn't it happen to them twice in one season?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I think I remember Team Scored using Z Snatch on their Rotom Wash at one point.
I don't know how anything used Z Snatch.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing, but
Well, Z Snatch, but you know what I mean, Snatch. I'm drawing, all right. I'm focusing on drawing, and you guys aren't. Leave me.
Past the present.
Let
Listen,
me-
time travel Pokemon.
Oh, of course.
Where's the Celebi?
Let me have this, all right. I'm trying to draw.
Going back to the rest of their team, they also have like Crocodile, also a very good Pokemon. Not I think as good in my opinion as Garchomp, but definitely used for different things. Intimidate is good. Moxie is also something that can come in handy if they can, maybe they do some Z-Snatch to get the speed up, then find a way to make use of Moxie. The Tornadus Therian is also a really good Pokemon. Super bulky, super hard to get rid of with Regenerator, being able to switch out and recover a chunk of its HP. And it's already so bulky. And then I personally love Chestnut. I used it a lot back when once it finally got Drain Punch. I really like that as a defensive Pokemon with Spiky Shield, and you can set up seeds and then just kind of sit there and be a bit of a nuisance. I don't know. I use that in singles. I don't know how good that is and necessarily going to be in doubles, but that's something. And then Vivian is also rarely used, but it has been a thing. Focus Sash, Quiver Dance, and then just getting things with Sleep Powder or Hurricane. So they actually do. Their lower picks are pretty good as well. I don't know much about Hoopa, though. Who knows about Hoopa?
Hoopa is quite a good. It's strong, but it's obviously not as good as Unbound. It can set up Trick Room. It's got really good special attack, and can break through, and can break through Protect with Hyperspace Hole. I think it is for Hoopa.
Hyperspace Hole.
Yeah. I also know a fair bit about Meloetta. Meloetta obviously could be a really bulky Calm Mind sweeper. It also can obviously fire off Stab, Hyper Voice to hit through any subs if they need to get set up. And if it was feeling lucky, it could switch into its physical form and just get base 110 speed and just nuke things with physical attacks.
It's not base 110, it's base 128 in speed, actually.
There we go.
Goodness. My God.
This man knowing all the stuff.
But yeah, I think it's a good team. Aromatisse is also a Trick Room setter. I know it's slow, but
I don't think it does.
Yep. No, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm wrong as always. Don't worry. It's on me.
The knowledge goes to
Aromatisse
VGC. You don't see Aromatisse often.
No, that's why I'm here.
But yeah, pretty solid team. I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Anyway, have you seen the ads I've done to the logo? The text, has that all appeared?
Yeah, it's all appeared. Don't worry.
With that, let's move on to the trio. We have the team of three with Team Jamie, or sorry, as Duncan would call it, Team Arrogant.
Hey, that's just Jamie Keane. We have Boyd, we have Miller, and Jamie Arrogant, as he shall now be forever known as.
Team, we do not like Keane.
It's
not personal bias, but
yes, it is. What are you on about? Yes, it is. Tom.
I love their team though.
It is with you.
I think
the team that has an A pick as an S pick. So why don't we go over their team real quick? So it's Mega Blastoise.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, so Mega Blastoise, Victini, Porygon Z, Superior, Excadrill, T-Tar as their S pick, Yanmega, Rotom Fan, because they don't have enough. Dragalge and Mr. Mime. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
I love this team though. I think that Porygon Z is actually a super good Pokemon in this format.
Trust me, it is. It's going to
because like Z conversion, obviously you can fake out with Mega Blastoise. You also just have the option to run Breakneck Blitz. With Hyper Beam, adaptability boosted is also just disgusting.
Yes, it is. I know that firsthand.
It could set Trick Room. It can set Trick Room for itself if they want to run a slow version of the team. And like Victini, also very threatening, powerful, like just super strong. And then they have the Sand mode too. And Japan Sand is an archetype that they're familiar with. I don't know if they have all the pieces necessarily, but they have the important ones, which are Tyranitar and Excadrill. And those, that's a pretty dirty combination to have.
Yeah. And they don't have to worry about accuracy if they have Victini on the side. They don't have to go, I hope this rock slide hits. It will hit.
True.
Yeah. Victory Star is very nice to have. And I think it was in their drawing video or their analyst video where they said that Mr. Mime was basically a Smeagol without Spore because they get so many different moves like Fake Out, Feint, Wide Guard, Quick Guard.
Yeah, just through all the tutors through like Gen 3 to 5, like it gets a ridiculous amount of moves. Everyone's like, oh, what is he going to do like offensively? He's like, well, it's not. That's not why we drafted it.
It also has filters and ability, which we've all seen with Mega running with Necrozma's Prism Armor, taking 3/4 from super effective moves.
It also got Fairy type as well. A lot of people forget about that.
Terrify children. There's a lot of good things they can do with it.
Yeah. And you do say, Toast, that it doesn't do anything offensively. I mean, it has Technician with 100 base special attacks. They could make it work.
Well, yeah, it's not, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
No, I'm seeing a lot of people comment that. Saying, like,
Oh, right, okay.
that's
Yeah.
just using it as an example.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
I know it can possibly do damage.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
its special defense is fantastic at 120.
Yeah, base 120. Yeah. However, its HP is abysmal in 40.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, the Fake Out is going to be doing massive damage with 45 base attack.
Yeah.
Technician
Big
boosted.
time.
Physical, Mr.
Break
Mime.
the
Let's
sash.
see it.
Oh,
Let's see
right.
it, Team Jamie.
But they would. Don't tempt them. Superior is also, I really like Superior. Obviously, Contrary is a very good ability when paired with something like Leaf Storm. And again, I think, and I honestly like, I know they have Mega Blastoise, which has a lot of offensive power, but there's also a lot of support in Fake Out, Follow Me there as well if they don't feel like attacking. And that can enable, like, a lot of their Pokemon would like want free turns to kind of set up or boost up or certain things like that, and then kind of snowball the rest of the game from there. And they just have a lot of ways to make that happen. I mean, even like Yanmega, isn't that speed boost?
Yes, Mega is speed boost. Yeah.
So that's like another Pokemon that wants that time to those turns, free turns to just boost itself up. I think that they have a lot of options, and
They use it for speed. Its tinted lens does a lot of damage.
Yeah. And they also do have dual adaptability core, I guess, with Dragalge and Porygon Z with both adaptability. So
Right.
they're firing off some
Stab the
powerful
team.
hits. They are
Actually,
really...
Actually, I just found this out now. Yanmega also has Frisk, so if they want to use the Frisk, they can scout out some
Ooh.
items.
Yeah, and the info war is a huge part of VGC. No, especially in a best of one setting like the MBL, like knowing what your opponent has is crucial. Actually, I think that'd be a great use of
Yeah, especially with the Z crystals, knowing that mon has a Z crystal and we know what type it is, so we can switch around it.
Especially with item clause as well. Seeing that item clause is definitely a thing in this season. Knowing that if you think that one or another mon has a certain item, you see something that doesn't have it, you think, oh, that mon must have this item, like Choice Scarf or Choice Band. It's going to be very good to have if they do bring it.
Yeah, not a lot of mons get Frisk, or not mons that are drafted get Frisk.
No, I don't think there's.
Gorgeist is.
Yeah, Gorgeist has been one, and I think Farah didn't get drafted. So I think that's the only thing.
The dream. That's the dream. One day, season 3.
In my mind,
Whose dream? Whose dream is
that?
My brother's. Thank you very much.
I was mixing it up with Drinking Birds Linoon, but But anyway,
they're not the
on to
same.
the final team.
On to our last team. Finally.
So Harvey, why don't you take this one?
Okay, I will.
Team Drinking Birds.
Okay, yes. The team of T-Man and Lawsy, of course. We all make mistakes. I was focusing on drawing, all right. But this is Necrozma.
You can't use that excuse every time.
Yes, I can. Damn it, I will.
So just to reiterate, this is Team Leeki, this is Team
Leeki, and they have Necrozma as their S tier, Mega Gyarados, Sylveon, Beedrill, Abomasnow, Rhyperior, Rotom Frost, Magmar, Electabuzz, and Ambipom.
And just to clarify, that's Mega Beedrill, not regular Beedrill. It is Mega Beedrill.
Yes.
Fantastic draft. Fantastic draft until you get to the Magmar and Electabuzz.
Yes, unfortunate that during the draft they were not aware of item clause, and so drafted both Magmar and Electabuzz.
Oh, well, there's always like trades or drops or something, right? That's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that is at the end of the season.
All right, well, they're just gonna make the playoffs.
If they top cut, then they get to make 3 trades.
But I still think that their team is really good, and especially like Hibiki is he's a great team builder, super creative. I know he took a break this season of VGC to focus on other things, but he's super smart. He actually, like, the first team I ever used in VGC was a Hibiki team, and got a nice couple of top cuts on some PCs and things like that. So, got to show some respect there. And I think they did a good job with this draft. Like Mega Gyarados, super threatening. Sylveon, super threatening. I don't know a whole lot about Necrozma. I feel like I heard that it was really good. It's like
in singles, it's
doubles
absolutely
OU?
amazing. In doubles, I'm not sure. I don't know about it in doubles, but in singles, it's pretty good.
I feel like I heard in the beginning of Doubles OU it was really good, but then something happened and now it's not that good anymore. But
I think the mon that everybody's going to sleep on the most is Mega Beedrill. I mean, with the Mega Boost, it's
absolutely
the same thing that we talked about with Mega Metachan.
Mega Beedrill is going to be.
You don't have to run Protect. You don't really have to run Protect on it anymore. Well, I mean, you might want to because it's doubles, but still, you don't have to run Protect on it anymore. It automatically jumps up from.
Oh yeah,
it jumps up from being
75 speed to base 145 in speed. Its attack goes from 90 to 150. Like, it's absolutely insane. Plus adaptability.
I had forgotten about that entirely.
Yep.
Yeah.
The speed
so you
boost.
have adaptability X Scissor, adaptability Poison Jab, adaptability U-turn if you want to get out of there.
Adaptability Fell Stinger. Don't forget about that. Fell Stinger got a huge buff this generation.
Yeah.
+2 to +3.
+2 to +3 and 50 base power
50.
from 30.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane. If they can pull off Felstinger Mega Beedrill, they're going to be very threatening to deal with, especially next to one of their follow me users, Magmar or Electabuzz.
Plus, it gets Swords Dance, it gets Tailwind, it gets actually a lot of niche.
Beedrill gets Tailwind?
Yeah,
Beedrill gets Tailwind.
It
also gets
what?
Yeah, and Defog.
It also gets Baton Pass.
So it could do a lot of things. And it will get slept on. People will, they'll think, oh, we don't have a fairy, we can ignore it. We're bringing out steel types. Drill Run. Perfect move right there. It's not going to OHKO every steel type, but it will chunk a lot of mons that aren't expecting it.
Absolutely. And a lot of people will think simply just because it's slightly frail with its clean 40 defense and 80 special defense. 80 special defense isn't too bad, but the 40 defense is really what's bringing it down, really.
Kind of like Kartana.
Other thing.
Hey, I mean, that base 15 special attack will come in handy.
Hey, who knows? Who knows?
That thing, it gets Struggle Bug. I mean,
but why?
It's a bug type
It
style.
actually loses special attack when it Mega Evolves.
Wits with the play. Speaking of though Megas, I know you guys you guys really like Mega Beedrill, but I really like Mega Gyarados. I think that's a great Mega Pokemon. Mold Breaker is a super great ability. Volcanion, well, I guess it's still neutral, but gets rid of like Water Absorb, things like that. Levitate's not going to matter if there's anything that wants to try and escape like Earthquake. There's just exactly. There's a lot of there's a lot you can do with Mega Gyarados. You can Dragon Dance up and be super scary. It has Intimidate when it switches in. That's a big thing in VGC. It doesn't obviously have to Mega Evolve right away.
It's Moxie too, so it could just
and Moxie.
Start the sweep and then Mega Evolve it.
Yeah, boost up, and get
Mega Evolve.
That's it.
Not to mention with Necrozma, a lot of you said you didn't know much about Necrozma.
Yeah.
Actually, you finish what you were saying first, and I'll finish it off.
Oh no, that was I was.
Oh, you finished. Okay.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, so with Necrozma, I've done a few calcs before when I was trying to get it banned somewhere else. Not gonna say, but it manages to live a Mega Mewtwo Y Bug Buzz Z move. I know it's completely impossible to happen, but with its ability, if it's max speed F, it can live a Mega Mewtwo Y Bug Buzz Z move, which is insane if you ask me. With 100, I think it's 195 special attack. Being able to live that is crazy. Mewtwo Y, yeah. Because it's hacked and it's already Mega Evolved and can use a Sea Crystal. It's insane. I know that will never ever happen. That will never happen, but that is something that Necrozma can live, which is crazy.
Harvey, your Ludicolo is so nice.
Somehow, I don't know how I got that to work.
I did add plus to
actually,
my co-painter froze, so I can't see it.
Yeah, just what on the subject. I'm not drawing 2 Ludicolos. I cannot be asked to do it. I've done one, and I've done the main logo. But I could.
That's why I said plus Juan.
Yeah, we could do that, or I could just get Juan to draw another one at some point.
Yeah, it can be edited.
It's fine.
I mean, we are just putting this. We are going to edit this later on into a banner.
Yeah, into a proper banner, and it'll fit.
I'll take it into Photoshop and I'll put the proper dimensions and stuff and move it around.
You do that.
Yeah, sorry
That's
to
fine.
distract the team.
Yeah, anyway, let's get back right onto their team, and
we're nearly done.
And the kind of the main crux of their team being the Hailcore of Abomasnow and Rotom Frost.
Yes, and I think Abomasnow is actually a really good Pokemon. I know. So I was watching this thing that Nugget Bridge, their Twitch channel, they did like a Throwback Thursday where they played like matches from every generation. One of the players who was playing, Huiha, who's Dewey's brother, very good Pokemon player, brought Abomasnow to like a lot of the early generation games, and Abomasnow is actually still a really good Pokemon, even if it's not Mega. Obviously, it's a fight of fire types.
It also has soundproof. So, I mean, they have the Sylveon, but like if other things were drafted that use sound-based moves like that Meloetta, they could just run soundproof
and
the
bug buzzing Galvantula from Team Flawless.
Right, that's true. But yeah, Abomasnow is just it's a like Hail is a very good weather. It's like especially this season. I mean, granted, no one got anything. I think that with Aurora Veil, but like Hail still comes in handy, and Rotom Frost with Blizzard is good.
No, Mew does. Mew gets Aurora Veil.
That's
right. But I mean, like nothing on their team. I don't think gets it.
No, nothing on theirs.
So Frostlass gets Aurora Veil as well.
Mew gets Aurora Veil?
Yes.
That's every TM.
Yeah. So and Frostless and Glalie get Aurora Veil as well.
Abomasnow super threatening.
Got it.
Actually, incorrect. Wits, you're incorrect. Glalie does not get.
No, it's not Glalie. It's just Frostless.
Yeah, it's just Frostless.
It's my fault.
And then another Pokemon on their team that I really like is Ambipom. You don't really see that a whole lot in VGC, but I do think like it's a pretty threatening Pokemon. A lot of physical attack, really strong fake out user.
Flincher actually with fake out and then fling King's Rock, so you just flinch multiple turns.
Not to mention, it also gets pickup. So against teams that would like running any berries, then I know it's not often used, but like against the Linoon, if it decides to belly drum and use a Figgy Berry, then Ambipom can then pick that back up, or a normal gem where it can pick that up. With
all the VGC players, there's going to be a lot of berries. Everyone's using berries this year, so I expect there to be plenty of berries.
Yeah, any Chopples from Team Jamie, it can pick that up and be like, now you can't hit me with a super effective fighting type move.
MBL Season 2, sponsored by Isla Plenty.
Especially after today.
What?
Go on.
And after today, if anyone watched the live stream, whichever, I can't remember the regional, people are going to start loving the Thief a bit more. So
Virginia, the Thief Arcanine.
Yeah, and obviously Ambipom, I'm pretty sure gets Thief, so
it does.
So it gets Covet. Covet would work better. It gets Covet. So
Stab.
So what Covet is the same thing as Thief, except it's Stab and still Technician boosted. So it would actually be even better than Thief.
But memes.
That's pretty good. But yeah,
skill link. We did completely ignore skill link. If you want to hit that tail slaps 5 times.
Of course.
Or whatever it is.
Skill link is great. Skill link's going to be great for them. I think the real main one is Technician. Getting that Technician boosted.
Yeah, probably Technician.
Technician boosted fake out and any other normal type move it might have. Just to chunk other things, really. It's there to chunk things and stop things turn 1. Which it does its role well. It's great at doing it.
What does everyone think of Rhyperior? Because I know there was some talk, people wanting them to get Rhydon instead. But obviously they definitely have plenty of
they couldn't get Rhydon. They couldn't. Well, they also couldn't get it because Rhyperior was their last pick. They needed a B tier.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
So Rhydon's a C tier, so they actually couldn't get Rhydon no matter what.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. But I mean, like, I still think Rhyperior is a pretty good, good pickup.
Does it still get Solid Rock, or is that only Rhydon? Or is
it's only Rhyperior actually.
Oh, only Rhyperior. I knew it was one of them. Yeah, Solid Rock again is like on the cross. They've got 2 mons that can weaken the super effective type moves. So that's interesting.
And that's something if they wanted to stick around, really.
Yes, it does. It gets Solid Rock, Lightning Rod, and Reckless.
Yes.
But I mean, that can come in handy with Mega Gyarados, especially when it's before it Mega Evolves. That'll keep it safe from using their Mega immediately.
And it can counter the Tapu Koko. Or if it
Uh-huh.
wanted to, base 140 attack, Reckless, Head Smash. Does it get Head Smash? Please tell me it gets Head Smash.
No,
just Head Smash. Please let it get Head Smash.
Head Smash.
Oh, that's disappointing. That's disappointing.
You threw the hook out there. Just quick. I know we talked about the Rotom forms a lot, but Rotom Frost is something I absolutely love. I adore it. I adore. We're not talking about this now. We're not talking about this. Another time we will talk about this. But Rotom Frost, especially combined with the Bottom Stone for that massive Blizzard spam, it could be Specs, it can be Scarf, it can run obviously Snatch as previously mentioned. it's just going to be an annoyance, or it could hit extremely hard. And I hope it does. I hope
as you
it's
can
seen a lot.
tell, so as you guys can tell, we analysts love Z-Snatch.
Oh yeah, we love Snatch as a move. Snatch is
love
great.
Snatch.
Also,
You guys have forgotten one extra
and
thing.
Trick as well.
That doesn't sound right.
All of them,
We're for
all
sure
of them
not
get
gonna-
Will-O-Wisp as well. Which
Guys,
is
they have a Blizzard spam team. Rhyperior gets Blizzard. There's another Blizzard spam
God.
right there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm sure.
I did not know
I'm
Rhyperior
sure.
got Blizzard.
I was like, hold on a minute. I swear this because I was looking at this like ICMZ and a Smogon set. I was like,
Of course
Control
it gets
F,
Blizzard. It evolves from a Gen 1 mon. They get all the like.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
You know what?
Mega
That's fine.
Gyarados gets Blizzard too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my lord!
Blizzard
Alright,
spam
alright.
for days.
Alright, this needs to stop.
I would not put it past him.
There is
I
so
would-
All right, on that.
And
On
then-
there is
and
so
I
much
think
spam
that-
there.
On that part, I think that covers every team.
Yeah, we've covered every single team. Now, I think there's only one really thing. There's only one more thing that I really want to go over real quick, and that is who do you think is going to win MBL Season 2?
Team
Uh,
analysis.
Oh, of course us. But let's.
But
You know
if it
what? You know what? Toast. To start with you. Who do you think is going to win?
Who do I think is going to win, or
Yes.
who do
What
I
would you-
want to win?
Do both. Who do you think and who do you
I
want?
would love to see Drinking Birds win. Who I think is going to win, I don't know why, but I want to say Juiced. There's something
very,
for me.
very
I
interesting.
don't
Very
I
interesting.
don't know why. There's something about me wants to say Juiced.
People know that they're not to be taken lightly. I mean, they finished top of the regular season last year, ending 5-1 technically because
Yeah.
they didn't play their last match, which was really annoying for me. But I kept battering them. Why don't you do it? They're like, well, people are ill. We can't do this. Like, fine. I'll let it go. But they still finished top of the regular season last year, which is extremely impressive considering that no one expected them to. No one expected them to, which was fantastic for them. Let's go to Jason.
So, okay. So, who do I think is going to win? The easy choice would be Team DreamBall, I think, because they are just disgustingly good at Pokemon in team building and in execution. So that's like the easy choice. Do I think that they necessarily will? I don't know. Part of me kind of gets a Team Jamie feeling a little bit. So maybe for who do I think will win, maybe I'll go Team Jamie. But I have to agree with Toast. As far as who I would like to see win, I want to see Team Drinking Birds. Tommy and Josh are both two of the nicest guys. Obviously, like all the VGC players in here are really nice guys. Even Hibiki when he gets frisky. Like.
Huh?
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. What?
Whoa. All right.
Anyway, Team
gotta-
Drinking Birds, nice guys, super good at VGC. I would like to see them win.
All right, speaking of teams we want to see, if we talk about teams we want to see win, I want to see Team Blue Hunnitz do well. I want to see them do so well. They have a great, scary team, and I want to see them do well with it because a lot of people are gonna be very scared of a lot on their team, and I hope that they can. I hope that they can build well, and I hope that their battling is up to scratch. Let's say I hope they top cut. But as to who I think is going to win it, I'm going to say Team CyberBaz. I think that whilst familiar with that, people might be with some of the mons on their team, they played so well with the mons on their team and they know a lot of the mons on their team very well, and I think they're going to use that to just really batter a lot of people. I think they're going to do very well. As for who I think is going to do well as well, Team Jamie's going to do very well. I think they could win it. Team Leeki, I think going to do well. But as to who I think Team CyberBaz is going to be for me,
You don't count. You just like listed half the teams.
Yeah.
hey, no, I said teams I want to see do well and teams I want to win.
Yeah,
I think the team I think is going to win is CyberBaz. Yeah, we are. Let's go to Tailwind next.
I'm not last. I'll take it. Okay, so I want Not School to win. Slightly biased. They have a comfy, and I really
Slightly
like
biased?
them both. I like
No.
Joey and Envy. They're really cool guys. I like their content a lot, and I really want to see them win. I want them to prove Toast wrong, and I want them to just use their team fantastically. Who I think is gonna win is I do feel that Team Jamie's going to win this time. I feel like they're going to pull this sand core and just blow people away with it. They're not going to be. They will be expecting it, but I feel like they'll overlook it. What they could actually like. Yeah, I just feel like they're going to overlook it in general. So I'm going to say who I want to win, Team Not Schooled. Who I think is going to win, I'm going to say Team Jamie.
Okay, and finally we move on to Wits.
So Harvey practically took everything I wanted to say, but I mean, they don't call me imposter for nothing. They don't call me the imposter.
I snatched your opinion, fool.
Well, like I said, almost.
What?
Like I said, almost everything. But like as much, I would want to see Blue Hunnitz, but I'd kind of also want to see Team Flawless pull it out. I mean, having with Angus and Beryl, because I really like that team. I really want to see everybody like pull through with that team. But I think Team CyberBaz is Team CyberBaz is just too insane to look past, and with their cores and their synergy and how everything's going to work, plus the players and how they are like put out in the end.
I think Duncan's gonna kick our butt though. No one said anything about Team.
Oh, yeah. he did say that we were gonna be. He could remove us.
We wish Team We Disney well in their endeavors.
Yeah, we wish them all the best, but whatever happens.
Yeah, basically. And on that note, I think we are about done for this draft discussion and drawing video. We hope you guys like watching probably over an hour's worth of content. If you guys did,
I think we're close to 2 hours now.
It's fine.
We're analysts. We're allowed to.
Yeah, we're allowed to do this. If you guys enjoyed it, do leave a like on the video and comment who you think is going to win, or who you'd like to win, and who you think is going to win, just like us. We hope you guys.
We go over the schedule of videos.
Actually, yes, we can do that very quickly.
I mean,
as for the schedule.
Skipping over to 2 hours. Go on.
That's fine. We can quickly go over the kind of schedule of the videos. We're going to have Wits and Terwind on the. I'm losing words now. It's late now.
Power rankings.
Yeah, power rankings. I'm losing it now. It's been a long time. But yeah, they're going to be on the power rankings. It's not going to be Wits and Toast, as I previously mentioned in another video, because Toast is basically just get time issues. Tailwind, stop.
Lazy.
Play nice, play nice. Due to time issues, mainly with work and such. So he's going to be moved to the weekly preview with Jason. They're going to be doing that probably on the Friday of every week. We're hoping.
The power rankings are going to be on the Thursday.
Power rankings on Thursday, and for the weekly review videos, it's going to be myself and Juan, obviously because we're both Ludicolo buddies, and that will go up on Tuesdays after every week. So I think that covers everything. I'm fairly certain.
So if you've lasted this long,
yeah, if you've lasted this long, give yourself a pat on the back. You've deserved it for making it this long. And the opening matches will be on the 20th of May. There'll be and the team builders on the 19th. I think that's everything. So thank you guys for watching this video. We hope you enjoy it, and we hope you're looking forward to the start of the Multi Battle League Season 2.
have a good time.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.